All right, gonna take the old film camera out for another little adventure. I don't know if this will even turn into a video. Forgot my keys. Just got it back from repair. I've shot about one roll through it and they came out very good. Going to a place you can get to via the Shokoe Trace. It's called the Princess Falls. It's still a little harsh. It was supposed to be pretty windy today, and it just did not turn out to be that way, which is a shame. No, not windy, I'm sorry. It's supposed to turn out to be pretty good looking today as far as stormy weather and clouds, but just didn't turn out the way I was hoping it would. And that's all right. That happens sometimes. You still gotta go out and shoot. You just gotta change gears. So instead I decided to go to a waterfall that is hopefully in the forest. I've never been to Princess Falls. The pictures look good. I'm sure with a pretty high or a pretty small aperture, I should be able to get a pretty good long depth of field on film. So I just wanted to go ahead and get out today. It just helps me throughout the week. I did go out on Thursday to a little place called Cougar Arch. I made a little video of it, but it didn't turn out very good, and I probably won't put it up. Right now in my camera I have a HP5 loaded, and I've already shot about 4 pictures on there that I actually took at the Cougar Arch Trail of just little odd things in the forest I liked. I think they'll turn out pretty good. I am developing myself, and I'm trying to do it pretty cost-free, so I've been doing it in caffeinol, using some instant coffee, some Arm & Hammer washing soda, and some Arm & Hammer washing soda, and some high C vitamin C powder stuff. It's probably mostly some sort of dye. It's not even real vitamin C, but you never know. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and get driving. Get to the place, and I'll talk to you guys at some point when I get there. Alright, it looks like I forgot to film me getting there, so we're gonna jump right into some foliage. Alright, taking a little shot here. This sort of area. Got some flowers from grain, this cool mossy log. Probably be pretty close up, so compositionally pretty standard. Alright, I do love this image. I just think it needs a little bit of color. I should have brought color film. I did not. I should have brought filters to bring out the grayer tones, or I guess lighter gray tones, and I just didn't bring them. I don't have them. It's a different type of mount than what I usually use. Other than that, I do love the photo. It's the perfect time of day. I just didn't have what I needed, but compositionally, I do love it. Good photo. Trying to remain very selective today on my photography, just because the last couple times I've went out, although I shot a lot, I didn't really like my pictures. I'm just doing a lot of composition hunting. Oh, look at this. But I just don't think it'd make a very good photo, but I really do want to try. I just don't think it's going to be good, so I'm going to head on and see what else there is. Just taking my second picture at I think it was like something Lynn Falls. I'll put it in the video. I just got really low down, so I got some of this here and some of that up there, and a bit challenging as it's kind of bright up there and dark down here in this like little cave area. But I think it turned out to be a good picture, so I'm excited about it. Alright, I find this a very pleasing image. I got exactly what I wanted out of it. The upper portion is perfectly exposed. You can still see parts of the dark, so it's okay. A very good negative, I believe. If I could change a few things, I'd love a little bit more foreground interest, even though those rocks are pretty nice. Compositionally, I like the image. It's exactly what I wanted. It suits me. It's what I try to achieve in my style of photography. And it is a very good image, in my opinion, although not world class or anything like that. I don't know if you can hear me, but I got something set up here. Mainly this tree here. I'm gonna try and get a pretty good photograph of it and hope it comes out. So, not a great photo. I do believe the previous waterfall was a more photogenic one. Unfortunately, I think the water is too high for me to get to certain locations. I believe I mentioned that in the video at some point. It's not a very good image, and it is very lackluster, unfortunately, but not something that can't be changed on future visits. I'm not even certain if this is Princess Falls. Unfortunately, my GPS tracker just kind of ended, and I believe that means that I was at the location, but I am not 100% sure. I did get a shot of the falls, but if I'm honest, it's not the right day for it. Compositions were limited due to the high water. I couldn't get to some of the places I wanted to. But overall, it's a very pretty location. So, hope you enjoy the pictures. In my opinion, I think Julia Lynn Falls is probably a better falls than the one I just came from. So, geez, look at this big rock, huh? Now we are under a wind advisory, so I probably won't be going on another hike today. Probably be it. We'll head back to the car. I got 2 more pictures. Alright, I think I decided for the next couple minutes I'm just going to do some compositional reviews of some of my images. The first one, of course, is going to be another image I took over at the Princess Falls. One I find a little better. It's still not very good. I saw this rock and it was jet black against the green of the water, so I, of course, metered off the rock. It's the wet part here for a black in the gray tone, and it came out, well, black. So I guess I did that right, but it's not great. I wish I could have gotten a longer shutter speed, but I think even at this point I was shooting at, I think, f22 and at ISO 400 with HP5. Just couldn't get it down. I think this was like a 60th of a second, which is pretty nice. I think, oh, actually no, I'm sorry. I think it was actually f16 at 1/25th of a second because I couldn't get a tripod in there. So this is actually handheld. I do like it. I think it's something I might actually hang on my wall, but I'm not certain. The next image is of the path leading forward into the forest. It's just kind of a scene shot, if you would say. of this large tree there. I think it was some sort of sycamore or something like that. I actually took a selfie here, I guess, with the camera. It was my 12th shot, and I thought I should just go ahead and take one. It's now my Instagram picture, my profile picture. Unfortunately, I don't know if it was my DSLR scanning. It seems like it is very, I don't know, soft for some reason. I don't know if it was the shutter speed. It was handheld, but it's still an okay image. Soft images are still good images, especially on medium format. It's a little unforgiving, but it's fine. Where I wanted to be in focus is in focus. I shot it at 5.6, so maybe that's why. But I like the way it moves on, and if you look in the distance, you can see the path continuing forward. The next image is of these campfire stones surrounded by May apples, I believe they're called. I just thought it was interesting, so I thought it was a good scene-o-meter, and just try and get some compositional practice in. I think it is a good image. The more I look at it, the more it grows on me. So that's one thing that I do like about it, and maybe I should continue to explore like that and just take very experimental shots that aren't great, I guess you would say. The next image is one of my all-time favorites. It is of these two big giant stones and this beautiful tree behind it. I believe it's a pine. I can't remember what it was at the time, but I just come from this arch hike, and as I was driving across the bridge, I looked to my right and I saw this beautiful scene. It was on the side of a stream, and the light was just cascading through the trees on I think it's basically this hillside opposing it, and it just softened everything, and it was what I was looking for that whole day, and I could not find once, and there it was. So I had to pull off as quickly as possible. I threw out my stuff, I ran over, no filming, I just took the picture, and wow, I love it. I can't get enough of it. I look at it all the time. I need it printed, because looking at a photo on a computer screen is not the same as looking at it anywhere else. Basically, a very simple composition. I just put the rocks on the lower third, I guess, image area. I couldn't get the whole pine tree in there, but with square format, I don't think you need it. It looks better this way to me. So that's it for this one. The next image, the next few are actually a couple of failures of mine. This one, I looked up there and I saw these rocks, and they were jutting out in this way. I really liked. They had dapple sunlight on them. This was a separate hike from the one that you've just seen. It's actually the one I was coming back from in the previous picture, and my film had just ran out. I took my 12th photo, and I was shoving in a new roll, and I hadn't used this camera in a year and a half, and I could not for the life of me remember where I put the film and which is the taking spool. So I switched them, I reversed them accidentally, and found out after I'd already unrolled a little bit of it that it was the wrong one. So I had to unroll it, move the taking spool to the correct position, do it all again, and by that time the light had gone. But once you have a picture in mind, the only way you can get it out of there is taking it. So I did, and it just wasn't there. The light had moved on, and it's unfortunate. The next image is this one here. I don't consider this one to be a failure, but it kind of is, because I didn't bring what I needed. I needed some filters. I didn't own any. Unfortunately, they're pretty expensive for this camera mount, and although I do own filters, I might be able to jerry-rig them on there somehow. Well, I'll figure it out. But the other failure is that I don't have very much color film. I only had one roll of Portrait 400, and I forgoed it for black and white, just like I always do, not thinking that I would miss it in any way. And here I am, staring at an image that I wish was in color. Maybe I should just start shooting in color.
this image would have been great. The blues of the flower were amazing, and if they had came out through this image, I feel like this image would have been amazing. I feel like there would have... I pictured in my mind these tiny little, really white, light gray flowers showing up on the rock here, and they just were not there. And that happens sometimes. You pre-visualize, and it just doesn't work out. But it takes a lifetime of opportunity and trial and error to get that visualization to just come so naturally and to come out in your images. So even if you have a bad day, even if you have a couple of images that you're really excited about on the trail or out in the city, and you had seen them, took the picture, then it didn't happen, do not be discouraged, because that happens to everybody. You just keep pushing forward, and eventually you'll get to the place where it's all not really roses. There's still, some thorns here and there, but it comes to you much quicker, or at least I hope it does. I'm not there yet, but maybe we will all be there someday. If anyone has any actual recommendations on color film, I've seen images. I like portrait, but I do a lot of woodland photography, so if there is some alternatives, please do let me know. If you think of any, please put it in the comments below. I'm not doing that as a way to get some sort of engagement on my account, which would be nice, but I'm not doing it for that. I honestly want to know some people's opinions. So thank you very much for watching. If you wouldn't mind commenting, please do. If you don't, that's fine. If you would like to, please please subscribe. Once again, it won't hurt my feelings if you don't like my photos. Let me know. I love that sort of stuff. So thank you very much for watching. You all have a good day or a good night, and I'll see you next time.